Cool.
Woo! All right. Welcome to the Earnhardt Experience, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 7. Want to shout out real quick to my true fans and subscribers and my haters. Love you guys. We have today, and thankfully to you guys, because like I've had 3 episodes where I've had guests and they just, but we have Sir Michael, the Disturbed One, Bedwell, and his lovely wife, Tasha Bedwell. Hello, guys.
How you doing?
Appreciate you. Well, I gotta say, I came across originally what drew me to you guys ultimately was a short that was on Facebook's news feed. It was a reel done by, shout out to Flashpin Productions, call me. But where Mr. Michael was sharing his story, and it hit me. And then I contacted him, asked them to be on here. And then I also, if any of you watching or in the future going to be watching this, go to Flashpin Productions and watch the actual full, like 44-minute or so long clip on this gentleman, who, by the way, is the champion over there, the light heavyweight champion. And I gotta ask you a question before because I gotta be, because I'm an arm wrestler too, and I follow arm wrestling as much as I can. At the end of that clip, you made a call out to the Bull Bellinger. Now I got a question. When you made that for with Flash Pins, was it after that? Not too long ago, you went to Arizona State. Or was that before?
That was before. We pulled into 220, and I absolutely I gave Ryan everything in the setup. I mean, he got everything. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I want my redemption back. Like, I want best of 5.
Okay, so that's still live.
Oh yeah,
still valid.
We've been in talks. The only reason why it's not going down or hasn't gone down yet is because he is already committed to an East First West event. So once his East First West event is up, we're going to make this happen. A lot of people want to see it happen. A lot of people have asked about it. So we're going to make it happen.
Gotcha. Let me see here. Okay. Get my thing here situated. All right, so I actually seriously took a lot of notes right here. I did my homework on you, sir. All right, so you're a part of Christus or Corpus Christus or Christi, which is Latin for the body of Christ. So I can easily assume you're Christian.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that. To each his own. Now, what really got my attention is the ARSarms.com stats on you, bro. All right, right hand at 242 plus, you're 5-4. The straight 242 right hand, you're 29-13. All right, 220. Which, by the way, what is your exact weight right now?
Right now, I am actually on a bulk. I am about 235 right now.
Oh, so you're really trying to get to the okay, so you're really a 242 guy.
No. I'm a 220 guy. I've always been 220. I've always you can only pull so many guys so many times before it's time to put your frame up against bigger competition, right? So that's what I do is I go to a tournament, and if I'm not going to make weight, I don't stress about it. I just pull the next weight class up.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Yeah. You do. I mean, from your track record, bro, you really do like to pull them big boys.
I just
you really like to get in there.
I like
competition. Because I mean, yeah, I feel you. Hey, I have a competitive nature myself. Now in the 220 right hand, you're 23 and 15. Left-handed, I probably have a better chance against you because I'm a left-hander. But in the 242 left hand, you're 6 and 9. In 220, you're 11 and 7. Right.
Yep.
Now, one big thing here that should be noted, and I put it in here somewhere, is in one of these. Yeah, right here in the 242 open, right? When you go to not pullers, but classes on the arsarms.com site, bro, you're number 20 out of all the recorded stats, whatever, of other pullers. You are the top 20. And cats that you would probably want to pull to increase your ELO rating would be guys like your Texas native there, Tucker Keating.
I've pulled him,
who is actually just ranked above you, like exactly right above you, if my notes are correct here, which I'm pretty sure they should be. What were you fixing to say?
I pulled him in San Antonio for the first time. It was one of them tournaments. I really didn't care about weight. I just showed up, and I was 230, and I pulled the 242 class, and I made him earn it. I made him earn that right hand spot. You know, it wasn't a freebie. So I mean, like I said, I enjoy competition. It motivates me. Because even when I get my ass kicked, it motivates me to come home and train harder. It motivates me to see how far I can actually push myself to the next time I face him. Is it going to be where I'm more dominant? You know, that's my goal. Is each time I pull somebody, I want to be better. So I want to make an impact on them as far as, well, the last time I pulled you, you know, you're not the same person you were. Well, that's good. That's what I want.
Yeah, growth. Because if you're not growing, you're dying.
Exactly.
Other names that I put down here in that same thing that you could pull are some legendary and names. You got Tim Talmadge, Paul Cruz, who you got some track history with that guy. Eric Wolf, Jody Smith, and Marcio Barboza, the Phenom.
Yep.
These are all guys that are who are ranked just above you or above you in that top 20, and you're right at 20. Did you even know that, by the way?
No, I didn't. I don't follow Ayers as much as I should, honestly.
What?
Yeah. See,
I got to do this to you.
No. Well, I mean, with work, my family, I don't have a lot of time to be on social media. If it wasn't for Flash, you know, those guys have really, really helped me out, get my social media out, and they've explained a lot to me as far as how to do it. Just make short clips. So that's what I've been doing. I make a short clip.
Yeah, and they're correct on that. I can tell you right now is short clips, 60-second clips, say like on YouTube or probably on any algorithm, because it's short, it's more algorithmic friendly.
Correct.
So people, because like even before, bro, just a side note, when I started this on my own and learning on my own. And even eventually, like fucking what, a year or so later, I'm finding out about hashtags and stuff. There was a time period in the very beginning of my journey when I did my shorts, I didn't use no hashtags. And I can tell you right now, I had like a handful of clips that were just me arm wrestling an old crew that I had started with, and it got like thousands of views before I started using hashtags. But now I use hashtags, and so like I'm scratching my head, right? And I'm using popular ones too for the category and everything. And it's just, but yeah, go ahead, continue. I just wanted to share that.
So, with work and training and, all that, I really don't have a whole lot of extra time to be on social media. Social media is not a big thing in my life. Um, we don't even have cable TV. We don't have any of that in our home. That's not what
Yeah, I
we.
mean, you can just watch TV or movies on your phone.
I don't even.
TVs are like a thing of old.
I don't sit. I don't sit down long enough. Like my days.
Oh, okay, okay. So
I
you're
come home.
hyperactive.
Oh yes, I come home from work. I usually come inside. I get a shower, and I spend 15, 20 minutes with the kids and the wife, and then I'm out here in the garage training till 9:30, 10
Like
o'clock at night.
fucking animal. All right. Me, I'm lazy. I ain't gonna lie, because like I had like, trying to put this into a nutshell. I seriously had like the biggest career highlight thing happen. I was actually in Houston, Texas, November 2nd. I don't know if you follow AEW or David Kotlow, the promoter who runs that or whatever, but we had Alex Topral there who recorded both my matches. But I'm a left-hander, and it's something I didn't find out immediately, and it should have when I think about it outside the box and stuff. Because like I performed. I had gotten like at my first tournament, I got 2 medals legitly on my left. The only reason why I had a right-handed medal was because me and Paul Italia, small Paul Italia, yeah, I just had to do that because he's no longer in the arm wrestling community anymore. But anyways, uh, it was just me and him in there, and we pulled at the FAL. Everything was recorded live and live stream. But I had a left-handed match with Clinton Pickering, and this was something that was set in stone for months. And I had so much time. I had like over 6 months, if not around that, to get ready for this. And he was just somebody who I seen at AW 4.5. He went up against a bigger guy on the left arm and came all the way back 3-2. And I was like, this guy, I like this guy. I've seen a warrior, and I wanted to have not only a good arm wrestling match, but I'm kind of like of the new wave of arm wrestling where I guess you could say roundabout offhandishly WWE wise, I like to, and I told him beforehand in a personal conversation, like talk shit, let's make this sensational, let's do like little shorts on YouTube, stabbing at each other, like some Devin Larratt shit, basically,
Right.
because he has set the model to get attention and stuff, but it's mostly through his efforts, through what he's done. And that's something, real quickly, side note, I can tell you is like trying to build my social media following, what have you. It isn't until I actually compete and win or do something right like that where the followers start coming instead of just watching my stuff. Little tip right there. Oh, we got a comment. Lester Green, bruh, he don't want to hear your stories. Oh, snap. Appreciate that comment there, Lester Green. He must be one of my hidden haters there. but that's okay. So I want to. I'm assuming because like I seen your clip, right? Like I said earlier, the 44-minute one. You started at what age in your 30s?
30, 33, 34. It was December of
Really?
2020. Yes, it was December of 2020 was my first event. And the
So
week
that was
before
during COVID.
yeah, right after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And what inspired you into the sport?
So the gym I was going to at the time, I was training with a guy named Zach Johnson, and he was kind of just talking shit to me for a while. And it just so happened that they were having arm wrestling practice that night, so I went up there and I pulled him, and I just went right through him. And I had no experience, no nothing.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
And then me and Sarah Backman was just,
Shots fired. I seen that clip too because they shared that on the 44-minute segment where you just you basically dad moved them like straight to the side, nothing. It was nasty.
So after that, I pulled Sarah and she's like, hey, there's a tournament next weekend. You should go to it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went and won first place right and left-handed, and I've just been addicted ever since. It's been a.
So you're telling me a shit talker got you into arm wrestling? You didn't watch like beforehand, like
I didn't even know
World of Strength clips.
I didn't even know arm wrestling.
Oh boy,
I didn't.
Gotcha. That's a very interesting start right there.
Yeah. So, and I've taken off with it.
Captured his heart. That's what happened.
I use it for motivation to keep me sober, honestly. I mean, it's a huge thing because until I got sober, my career did not take off. It really didn't. I was I would say an okay amateur. I was an okay pro. And then when I got sober, like it really hit, like it really started, my focus was there. I wasn't worried about drinking. I wasn't worried about partying. I wasn't worried about going out with my friends. The gym.
No nonsense.
The gym and arm wrestling became the number one goal. It completely took over the alcohol altogether.
Gotcha. Me personally, I'm thinking, I've mentioned this probably to you before in a personal conversation, but I really feel like until I finally let my addiction go with alcohol, that I'm just going to be cruising. I mean, I feel like, I got away with my left-handed win at that big event, November 2nd and stuff. Because like I did not train as hard as I could, and I let my opponent know that, and I let him know like if I beat you, bro, I'm gonna drag you through the mud a little bit, just a little bit.
Right.
But I have great respect for him, and we're probably gonna have to run it back again, but that's another story. But I commend you on that. I actually, I know what a full-blown alcoholic looks like, so I can only imagine, 24/7 Budweiser. You got the pot belly, all that.
Well, I was actually up. I actually got up to 250 pounds at one point because of alcohol.
Damn. Yeah.
And then it was not good.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because I'm a 220 guy, right? When I was healthy, not drinking or whatever, at like 26, 27 roundabout, bro, I could, even on creatine, I could not get heavier than 174 pounds. So I should technically right now be a 176er, but I know what it is. and I don't have an extraordinary gut, but it does poke a little bit. But it's probably a combination of what I eat too, because I make sure diet wise, I used to, for like over my first year up to that point in starting arm wrestling stuff, I would always eat 1 can a week, a whole can of beets, a sirloin steak, medium rare, tuna, and sometimes tuna multiple times that week, and for protein reasons, and then ashwagandha, I would take that because of what I know it does for the cortisol levels, because cortisol is a competing hormone with testosterone, come to find out. So, and then, I do my collagen powder peptides, which is, was it like 10 grams of protein, a scoop, and you take 2 of them. Yeah. And that was something that was given to me advice wise for the pain and recovery and whatever, and the tendons, what have you.
College, I love collagen.
So. Oh, and now here recently, like a few months ago, I've integrated drinking bone broth,
Yes.
specifically beef, because Arnold Schwarzenegger said it probably the best. Supplements supplement by definition, right? They should not be the main intake. So I made it a point to actually have a natural intake and then supplement it with the powder, which I have been taking that shit since the fucking beginning when I started arm wrestling. Yeah. And then I've also integrated other things that, like, especially one of them, I was like, shit, I should have done this shit a long time ago. And I'm talking about the rice bucket. Like, that, yeah.
Our kids do that
By
too.
the way, oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a great Asian remedy to get that hand strong and hard.
Yep.
If you know your history with it. But Tasha, you are the owner of Black Label Nutrition.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been doing that profession right there, and what have you?
As a profession, I would say 2022. It all started 2016 is where the most research started. Our youngest daughter, long story short, had a lot of health issues, wasn't going to be capable of living on a normal day-to-day diet. So we've had to basically learn ins and outs and how to keep her, filled and all of these things. So
y'all were in basically parent survival mode right there for your child, as 100%. You should.
Yeah, she was born with malrotation.
So her intestines were wrapped around her stomach. They had to go in, do emergency surgery, and then just all kinds of dietary issues after that point, because of the GI tract. So we've basically, done our own research, figured everything out. And then I was like, you know what, I might as well just go to school and get certified for this. And it's been game on since.
Well, that's interesting because, like, I heard your story on all the things, like you helped a fatty liver disease reverse.
Yes, sir.
And all that on your testimony on that episode.
Yes, sir. His mom.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he still gets juices every week, meals every week, and he's completely off the transplant list. And he goes in and has, his tests, I think every 6 months. And then once he passes that for 1.5 years, then they'll put him on a yearly test. So.
Cool beans. So do you arm wrestle?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I practice with our youngest son. He has a pretty big heart for it. So he'll be probably coming up momentarily. He's done one tournament and he won that, and he's head over heels for it. He trains probably every other day.
Mm-hmm.
He does push-ups every day. He does every day. He's for it. But no, I just hang out in the garage.
The only 11-year-old I know with an 8-pack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some kids on the internet that have been ripped like that. You know, I actually was it yesterday? Didn't you post something, Tasha? It was your son with a back pose.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, what's my back look like? I can't see it. And I was like, you want me to take a picture? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, all right, stand right there. Don't move. And then I was so and proud, impressed. I was like, dude, I got to share this.
Yeah. Who knows? Y'all could be raising the next John Brzenk or better.
That would be pretty cool.
Well, he's damn sure got a lot better of a start at it than I did.
Yeah, man. Now the reason why I asked that, man, because I didn't start until 34. I started September 2022. And I was actually inspired by guys who had started in their 30s, 2 of them, Todd Hutchings, Todd Zilla, and Tim Bresnan, but also Johnny the Iceman Walker, who's a fucking legend of the sport, also started in the 30s. So that was one thing that caught my attention right there, because we got to work harder at our age, and we're at that almost midlife crisis type age, in general speaking. And I really did pivot into arm wrestling because I actually started my YouTube channel where I was an internet gamer, playing with other live opponents all across the world on WWE 2K 20. Was it 18, 19, and no, not 18, but 19 and 22. And eventually, while I'm taking breaks and stuff from doing that, I'm seeing these World of Strength videos that they would do for 10, 15 minutes long on guys like John Brzenk, Tim Bresnan, blah, blah, blah. And when I started doing my homework and looking more into it, it enamored me, because it's not a strength sport completely. It's more so technique and tendon integrity and then strength. Because I can tell y'all right now, when I was in my I've been in the sport for over 2 years now. And I remember beating a dude in a fucking Waffle House that was over 300 pounds and looked like fucking Corey West, right-handed. And I'm a left-hander, and trying to get people to come to practices, that I was a part of and everything, and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of my story right there on how I got into it.
Who all do you train with out there?
I train and have trained with multiple people. And I have multiple options. I'm sagacious because, if I don't want to drive over 3 hours to Justin Bishop, and the Bama crew over there in Alexander City, to Josh Bishop, that's another one in my notes, by the way. What was that for? Oh, yeah. That'd be another good one for you right there, right-handed. Old Josh Bishop. He shocked the world last July. Anyways, I don't want to get off topic, but I mainly train with a guy who's seen me as a baby, figuratively speaking, coming in where I couldn't even move him, and definitely other weaker guys in the group off center and stuff. Just one guy's name's Jonathan Stetson. He knows the most about me, being in this sport and everything, and then watching me grow. But I also mainly have trained here with Mac Ruiz, who is the co-host with Cody Wood on the Dragon's Den Arm Wrestling YouTube channel. Okay. And Cody Wood, by the way, man, I don't know if I should hit it right now with the banners. I'm going to hold off on that because Cody Wood is finally getting some freaking well-deserved spotlight, and he's got a tough-ass opponent who's making a return. Dude's a freak.
Yeah, that's
He's
on Knuckles
called
Up,
the
right?
Hellboy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen
Knuckles
that.
up. Yeah. But anyways, so I train with them, and then also I have a guy who's very strong, but he's not driven like say you or me or whatever into the sport. He treats it like a hobby and stuff, but this brother is strong on both arms. And he lives in Columbus. And then, of course, I know the Bama crew, and I have a track history with them multiple times where I drove over 3 hours to train with Justin Bishop, Dalton Duncan. What was his name? Keep forgetting his name. Damn. But he's somebody I really like to bang with on the inside. Scotty Holloman. That's his name. Damn. I keep forgetting his name, but I shouldn't because, he probably wants to kill me. I like stirring the pot a little bit. But anyways, love you, Scotty. He's probably not going to be watching this, though. He hates me. But anyways, I actually haven't for some months now because of the drive, whatever. I haven't seen Justin and them in a minute, but I'm in their group chat. Glenn Brooks, I had the pleasure this past July, right? We had the SEC in Georgia. It was hosted and premiered by Sean Boom Hancock, and Paul Passmore befriended me because of my amateur level performance there on the left hand. And I went to a practice of his, and his practice was the last one I had before November 2nd. And really good, nice dude. And I ain't gonna lie, I seriously forgot where I was going with this story. Damn, I hate it when that happens.
I was going to ask if you trained with David Hobbs and Paul and them.
Paul Passmore that one time. There, Josh Elaton and Ron Bath were there as well. But I'm not touching those guys' hands. It's just useless. But that's my point. Glenn Brooks, the promoter of the Alabama State Championship, that old man is fucking strong. And he should be because he's a big man. But he's old school. And Glenn Brooks, man, I couldn't even phase him with my good arm. But pulling him was interesting. I've never pulled anybody where you could actually feel they're clicking in their arm as you kind of subtly pull them out or whatever. So he's dealing with that arthritis and stuff. But shout out to Glenn Brooks. That's my next tournament that I plan on competing at March 1st. Is the Alabama State Championship. And it should be, I'm expecting to be big because if I remember correctly, the prices that he had for the last tournament this year were a little bit more. So, and I know the Louisiana crew is coming. Fucking Craig Toulier was there the last time. Grant Bundy, Clint Breland was there, I believe, and I didn't even know it. Seth Corley, who's he's kind of following my shoes a little bit. But yeah, all that Louisiana, Salvatore Rios, them boys coming. And Paul Passmore won the overalls again, only because Craig Toulier pulled his pec while they were inside a hook. He pulled his pec. That's why earlier this year at a Knuckles Up he was scheduled for, he had to pull out of because he but according to his story, he recovered very quickly thanks to, I believe, stem cells, which is like the grade A cheddar of recovery now,
That's what I'm hearing.
Sport. Yeah, a lot of positive stuff, and I've done some homework on it. And also BPC 157, which I actually have experience with on my right arm because was it October? It was like a week or so after my first tournament I ever competed in. And I got in a practice right at the fucking beginning with a dude in a hook. And I'm over the top, whatever. I'm in a good position, but he was strong enough to bring me out. And when he did, my medial collateral ligament made a nasty sound. And thankfully, it wasn't too bad because I still pulled and was able to do pull-ups or whatever, but I could not do anything supinated. A few months later, thanks to an old enemy, I guess you say, or whatever you want to call him. I'm not going to say his name, even though I could. But he actually helped me out with 2 vials of BPC 157. And I'm telling you, it changed my arm because up until here, like a few months ago, my right arm never got sore or tired like my left, or like I remembered this arm would get after a practice. Because and it lasted for quite a few months, the effects that I had. It was kind of like a choo-choo train in practices where I'd have to warm it up, maybe even get a good pop in there, if you know what I mean, not a bad pop. And then, hook-wise, and then, I mean, it was like a fucking machine. Like, I could just go, just about. Excuse me. Throat's getting dry.
Yeah, you're good.
But anyways, to get off me, on some of my other notes here, like I stated earlier in this episode, you got a track history with Paul Cruz, and I actually know of this gentleman thanks to the Friday Nights 98% episode on YouTube. I was actually in a drunken stupor, and I said, "Who the fuck is this guy?" He kind of took a small. He probably took a bit. He's like, "Wait, what? Huh?" So he's probably wanting to kill me too. And then you got the 2024 Texas Arm Wrestling League East Open, one right-handed match against Tucker Keating. So the last time y'all met, did you win or lose? Because you mentioned this earlier, but you didn't say who won.
Well, we pulled left-hand, right-handed. He destroyed me left-handed, and then right-handed was, of course, a different story. He pinned me the first time right-handed, and then we were going. It was a championship. I fought my way back through the losers bracket, and I got him again, and I pinned him. And then he hooked me, and I wasn't prepared for that, and that's how he ended up winning the tournament.
Gotcha. So you got to get some get back, basically.
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait till I get to the 242, my weight class for 242 before I do that. And then, like I said, my goal is. My goal is to put on some muscle, put on some more size, and then cut back down to about a 230, 235, to where I don't have a big cut to go back down to 220. I want to walk around about 230, 235, and just be massive. That's my goal.
Yeah, I mean, and you got, like I said earlier, bro, I mean, you're ranked number 20 and the AriasArms.com. I mean, that's where us as arm wrestlers are building a resume for promoters. Seeing, I bet you 9 times out of 10 right now, this is like big news to some promoters or whoever's watching. Because if I was a promoter, I'd have yanked your ass up ASAP finding that out, and we would have been cooking. I would have protected you, a little bit, not necessarily throw you to the wolves, but I'm telling you, you're number 20, and that's huge, man. In the 242 open class-wise, you are in the top 20, bro. And I'm surprised. And of course, I guess obviously, especially with the big name promoters and stuff, they've already set in stone. Like Knuckles Up has already got their event planned, but even like East versus West are like, damn, my throat. Somebody. That way you could actually start not just winning a title. I mean, which ain't bad. Don't get me wrong, bro. But are you winning any money, if you mind me asking, or anything with making that title? Because that's where it's at.
Well, eventually there will be, with Flashpin, they're just starting out. That was only their second event.
Yep.
So they have big plans in the works. And I'm in contact with Trey and Dustin a lot. We do a lot of stuff together. We've talked a lot together. And I'm actually trying to get a big event going on down here in Corpus sometime in March. We're going to do like a big fundraiser type deal for a charity event. And we have big plans. If everything goes together, I mean, it's probably a masterpiece of a tournament that we plan on putting on. So it's just getting all of our ducks in a row.
Nothing wrong with charity.
And that's what, I'm big military, big police, first responders. I'm huge with all that. And without those people, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yeah.
So I look at that, and, we need to give back more to the organizations that are protecting us, in some way, shape, or form. And not only, is it going to help, with the community by getting my name out there, but it's also going to raise more awareness for arm wrestling. And that's my main goal.
Actually, go ahead.
That's my main goal, is just to bring more about arm wrestling to, an area that really doesn't have much arm wrestling here. We don't. We're not like San Antonio. We're not like, Austin guys.
I don't know. As far as I've seen in Texas in general, I would love to live in fucking Texas because
I'm not saying where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm saying where I'm at in Corpus.
Oh, okay.
Like we don't have a big, a big following here in Corpus with arm wrestling. We just don't. So I'm trying to bring more of that to the area to help with, sponsorships, to help with everything, as far as, arm wrestling goes.
Gotcha. Me personally, if I was a promoter or if I was in your shoes, I would be talking some serious shit to somebody to get a good match going.
Well,
I'm telling you, man.
I'm not big into talking shit. I'm really not. I do my talking on the table, man. I really do. I don't like.
Gotcha. I hear you.
When people trash talk me, it fires me up. Honestly, it makes me just absolutely I do my shit talking whenever I'm in person. I don't do it over social media. Yeah. I'm not going to do it over. We're going to do it in person, and I'm going to settle my business on the table. That's where we find out who's who and what's what.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got a banner here and a question. How can arm wrestling become more popular? What's your take? Because I feel like in general for me, right? Just to say this real quick, I feel like arm wrestling is good where it's at, and it's actually probably on in a good place. The only problem I have with it is I feel like the golden era was when we were on ESPN with WAL.
Okay, so
we need that back.
World Series of Arm Wrestling is actually doing something similar to that. I don't know if you follow World Series of Arm Wrestling, but if not, you really should. I
do. I do. I've been up Greg Sharp's ass a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
So I
love what he's doing.
I met with Greg the first time last year in Dallas I got to meet with him. I was introduced to him through Jamie Shelton. Me and Jamie, the first time I went to California, I met Jamie, and he literally looked me dead square in the face. I had a Supermaster Call to Pew, and Jamie looked me dead in the face and says, "Hey, man, you got something. Just stick with it." And it never really sat with me until I got sober. And I know I keep going back to this, but when your head's clear,
that's good, man.
When your head's clear, a lot more things make sense. You see a lot of people that are against you, and you see a lot of people that are for you with a clear mind. And I cut the people out of my life that were not for me. And I don't really care how they feel about it by me doing what I did. But I take people that inspire me, people that motivate me, and people that talk highly of me behind my back, not to my face, but people that talk highly about behind my back. I am going to take their word, and I'm going to use that as motivation to strive forward to make them proud. The haters, they're going to hate. And
oh yeah.
And I
can tell you right now, I'm like enemy of the state in the arm wrestling community. But go ahead.
And I use the haters' fuel. Whenever they talk shit about me, I just use it as fuel on the table. Like, I really do. I envision that person standing across from the table, not the person that I'm battling, but I picture that person, and that's. I let my hate out towards that person on that other person. And I'm sorry that you get that, but that's just the way I work. And that's why I don't talk shit, because it's not that person's, the hate that I have for that person is not you across the table from me. I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I hate the person.
It's not that serious, basically.
Yeah. So, but as far as your question, arm wrestling become more popular.
Do you think it's good where it's at, or do you think?
I think there's a lot more. There's a lot more that needs to come out of it. I'm not going to say the ESPN thing was the best in the world, just because there was so much manipulation going on there. There really was. I think that to make arm wrestling more popular, there needs to be more control on the table. If you move in a ref grip, it's a foul. There's no questions asked. It's not a warning. It's not. Yeah. You've got to take control of the scene. And the bullshit that goes on the table. 45 minutes for a match. For 3 or 4 rounds to go on. It's really ridiculous.
I know where you're going with this one.
I'm not going to sit there and watch a match 45 minutes long with bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. And
exactly.
Until the
refs got to grow a sack and take control.
Right, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the best possible way for that to happen is to have women referees.
I know of one. I don't know her name, but I've seen her. She works for the Knuckles Up, and she used to do international stuff too.
Yes, and honestly, there's the matches go way smoother if a woman is in control, because they're not fighting her. They're not trying to. It's just the bullshit's not happening.
Yeah. Maybe we should have that one I'm thinking of on a Devin Larratt match as head ref.
Because people get bored with that. Like, people get tired of watching the same antics, the same bullshit over and over and over.
And I actually, was it yesterday or the day before, Call Me the Greatest, Travis Bagent's channel. Because, I know my history. And as far as I'm concerned, Devin Larratt's character is a fucking copyright of Travis the Beast Bagent. He was the OG of that kind of like character, and that was naturally who he was, and stuff like that. Devin Larratt's kind of grown into it because he was actually soft spoken a few years ago. He wasn't that kind of guy, but now that he is the guy, with the exception of Levon and maybe Gennady. Sorry, I gotta hit him with that one because like Gennady got him, and I loved seeing him lose. I really did, not just out of any hatred or whatever, because I don't hate Devin Larratt, but it was just good to see that there's other players in the game. Now, Gennady, unfortunately, after that match, had an injury that put him out for months, and now he's losing to freaking Michael Todd at the last East versus West. So now, hypothetically, we're going to be seeing maybe fucking Devin Larratt and Monster Michael Todd for the umpteenth time, if you understand where I'm going with that. Because it's like, how many times did we see this shit,
But
on
is
WAL?
Devin's not going back up, right? Devin's staying down in the light heavyweight?
No, he's with Brian Shaw and fucking eating his ass off for his next big matchup. And honestly, I actually seriously forgot who the fuck it was going to be against. But he's bulking. Like he's bulking to where he's got a freaking gut now, and him and Brian Shaw are in the Planet Fitness, doing their thing and stuff, as a hoot with Auden Larratt as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think to make arm wrestling more popular, it just the antics need to stop because like I said, a lot of people just don't have the time to sit there and deal and watch one match for 45 minutes.
Gotcha.
I think it's kind of like turning it into the WWE and it's all a prop and it's all, bought and paid for. Like, I feel like that's what we're getting. And
and I understand that.
To me, that's just not the way, as a professional, we need to act. At that
Unless there's like some serious beef, though, then it gets really juicy.
If there's serious beef, if there's trash talk, whatever. But the setups and 25 minutes to get one match started, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. In my world and in your world, that shit would not fly.
Absolutely
when
not.
There's IFA rules. Definitely not IFA rules. Them rules are so fucking tight. That was how I got my one loss with my inspiration, Tim Bresnan. He was the head ref, and he fouled me out on. I swear it was bullshit the second time around. The first one, I was like getting in there. I was carving, it was obvious. But definitely IFA or I love loose rules. That way I can get away with everything. Oh, yeah.
I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I like to get a grip. And, I'm not going to give you everything, but I'm not going to take – I'm just – I'm a fair guy. Get a fair grip. We get a fair grip.
Yeah.
We go to the strap, and let's bang it out.
Yeah. After my super match left-handed, I've become a duplicit mindset now because, like, one opinion that was on this last point that I just took off the screen here about how to make arm wrestling more popular and stuff. Paul Italia said that we need to just be like what Brandon Morrison was doing down in Florida and go straight into the strap. Well, I got a problem with that being a technical arm wrestler, basically, right? Is because in my left-handed super match I had November 2nd, I would not have beaten Clinton Pickering if it went to the strap every time. I would probably surprise myself if I'd maybe got one, but I knew after that first round that I had to keep him outside the strap, and I did, and it worked. Because I won 3-1, you know. So
Well, I don't think we
I
should
don't
go
think
straight to
that's the answer.
I don't think we should go
Yeah.
straight to the strap. I think it should be a referee's grip right off the bat.
Yep.
That's a fair setup for both guys. You know, there's no arguing. There's no this. You know, my thumb knuckle. There's none of that. It's all it's all set up by the refs, and at that point it's on go. It's go.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, and then if you
Because
slip after
like
that,
in general,
you
go
slip
ahead.
You slip after that, you go to the strap. Hey, that's on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is, because like what you have to understand in general, right, is when it's outside the strap, it comes down to hand strength. That gets taken away from once you're inside the strap. And that's something I learned because Clinton had a good gun on him. He really did. And I had done my homework on him, and I wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to get outside once in the strap. The cupping that I was seeing from his victims, basically, and I tried pulling out of it in that first round, and it just, I even gave my hand a little bit, so it cracked my wrist. But yeah. But I mean, I'm right there with you, because like in my last episode, I was like, we don't need to really change anything or bend over and change it. I mean, because you got Ian Carnegie, right, in Canada with a new table and everything. And if you know your history with arm wrestling, we came from wrist wrestling, which was where you arm wrestled under said table, right? And you're holding their hand and stuff. And then we had what we have now and have had for like 40 years, ever since like the mid to late 80s. And originally we had the donut, as they had,
right.
and then the peg, and now we have the square pad. And we need to stay where we're at. We don't need to change nothing. I'm right there with you. Let's just go WSA. Let's go to right in there, because I mean, in my opinion, your opinion, like I said, we're right there. We don't need to change nothing. What does or should change? I mean, you got slap fighting, right? And then you got Pinochle on ESPN. And arm wrestling has been around since like probably the beginning of time, because there's like ancient Egyptian records of like dudes back, BC time, and you see an image of two guys like hand to hand, arm to arm, and it just arm wrestling just ain't got its respect yet on the promotional side and what have you. But I think we're on a good high right now, especially with Knuckles Up and Flash Pin Productions, because they do have a great production going on. And Knuckles Up, they're like the East versus West in America, in my opinion.
And I think that's what we need. Honestly, I believe that is what we need again in America is like Flash Pin, like Knuckles Up, to really get it flowing again. And then once, and even World Series of Arm Wrestling.
And the way that they take care of their athletes, like, the way that they just promote them and put their name out there too. Like it's not just a, hey, you're doing this, Flash Pin is really put into a relationship with all of their athletes.
Good to know.
Yeah, Trey, and Dustin are magnificent people, and there's way more better to come. Like I said, that was just their second event, so I'm really excited to see what goes on with them in the near future.
Gotcha. All right, another question. It's a big one right here. Jerry or Levon? King of the table.
I think Levon is just going to be way too much. I really do. The wrist, Jerry's just not going to have anything for his wrist, and that's I firmly believe that. You know, Jerry goes to his press, and that's just not going to be good for Jerry at all. There's a lot of torque coming from that big boy on Jerry's arm.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel that.
What's crazy is, like, if you ever seen like early Levon, he was like a fucking stick.
Yep.
So he got huge, really big, really fast. Like, he's on plutonium. For real, man. Like, you actually see what he used to look like before he got on gear. Oh my God, man. He's like, Denis Saplankov times 3 or whatever,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And that's personally, I really like to see come back. Is Dennis. I like his style. I like his style. What's that?
Yeah. You were breaking up just a little bit on my side. Okay. Probably me.
I said I'd like to see Dennis come back. I like his style of arm wrestling. I think he's got great sportsmanship, and he's a good face for arm wrestling in general.
Yeah, Dennis, he's grown on me. I guess in a way you could say it kind of started because I almost want to hit the violin thing real quick, but not really, because like I had a arm wrestling buddy who kicked the bucket August last year, right? And me and him were like Rocky and Apollo Creed, offhandishly, right? And he was young. He was 22 years old, ex-Marine. Had everything going for him. Good looking. He had a girlfriend and stuff, man, arm wrestler. But his favorite arm wrestler was Denis Saplankov. But from what I've seen outside of that, Dennis is really a nice guy. And he's like a gentle giant, I guess you could say,
Exactly.
Had the naturally big hands. And he did some things that fucked with his body, and it is what it is. I would have loved to seen him in his prime right-handed against Devin Larratt where he is right now, but it is what it is. Now, left-handed, if it does happen, Denis Saplankov and Devin Larratt left-handed, my money's on Denis Saplankov, because come on. Devin is a right-hand dominant guy. He's not left-handed. He's got a good left hand, but it's not as good as his right,
Yep.
So, but I want to do this real quick. Has everyone done this daily checkup in the mirror? And this is something I really like. I really like this right here. Check this out, man. It's right here.
That's good.
Because it's like, bro, after November 2nd, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been taking it easy. Like I've been like I'm living in like offhandishly like Rocky 2. You know, I went that extra round. I won the match that I wanted to win, and now I'm getting treated like what Apollo Creed did when he's in the fucking wheelchair at the beginning of Rocky 2. It's like, I want you to know you are luckiest man in the world, blah blah blah. I will fight you anywhere, and that's what I'm dealing with right now with my ex opponent, and because supposedly the word is. And I swear I smell bullshit in there somewhere because there's no way you can sit here and tell me the day after we compete against each other, right? And then also you have another left-handed grinder of a match with somebody like Austin Jennings, right? And then you tell me you weren't 100, that you had a thumb injury. Like, it seems like a smokescreen to me. So now I'm in the position where, like I said, I'm taking it easy, and then I'm really questioning myself a little bit. Like, wow, okay, so he supposedly wasn't 100, and we're gonna have to run this back. You know, I'm gonna have to beat him again. You know, to make the point, and it kind of fucks with me a little bit mentally and stuff because it's like it because of the fact that he did more stuff after us that day, you know, and it. My mother always said, if it don't make sense, it's probably a lie. But whatever, you know.
Well, I mean, a thumb injury in arm wrestling. I mean, I really don't. I don't know. That to me. I mean, I tore two ligaments in my right hand on my palm here, and dislocated or tore some cartilage out, and the bone was actually sticking out of the cartilage whenever I went and got an MRI after I pulled Ryan Carter for the #1 spot in Texas.
Oh, I met him. I seen him in person. Yeah.
I hit the pad, injury to myself. I flash pinned him the first round, and I so hyped up, and I hit the pad, and I ended up actually injuring myself in that match. And I still pulled him and made absolute war with him, and then drew him first round in the tournament at the Texas State. Not this year, but the year before. So, I mean, you can say a thumb injury stopped you from doing whatever you did, and that's on him. I don't think you should take him lightly, but at the same time, train your ass off and just
Make it
absolutely fucking destroy him the next round. Like, don't even make it to where he has even a chance to win. That's my whole thing is, if someone says, "Oh, I was half," or I wasn't 100%, well, that's on you. That's not on me. I came into the match at 100%. If you don't come into the match at 100%, that's on you. I don't want to hear your bullshit excuses.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point.
Don't
One
let
note I have here that I didn't. Go ahead.
Don't let somebody else's negativity tear you down, because they're
No.
they're a sourpuss about how they lost or why they lost, making excuses. Train harder and come back and find me.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really how I'm playing it, because I'm the champ. I'm the winner. So like, I'm not stressing it. I mean, he has said he'll drive all the way from Texas to Georgia to come see me. So I'm like, okay, well, I contacted some guys. Glenn Brooks is not doing super matches this next year at Alabama State. So that was actually unfortunate, because I felt like that had been a good one. But there's also Pull of the Mountain Super Series, with Cody Wood and what Joe Rogers got going over here in Georgia. So that's probably maybe where it'll end at the latest. I mean, he's got to come if he really wants it. He can come see me at the next, if I'm sponsored to it and what have you. Because like, I was sponsored to the last one, and I was less than 2 years into the sport. Joe Schmo from nowhere. And, David Kotlow paid for my flight and hotel. And it made my millennium, and it really humbled me too. Because like even leaving that place, and I believe I said this on I said this on a previous episode. I got a little emotional leaving because it happened so fucking fast, and and then I started thinking about people who have died this year that I know, and even the previous year, and just all encompassing. And I've never flown a plane before or airliner, and this was my first time, so it was a hell of a treat and an experience. And I performed, and I left, and I just wanted to savor it some more, because I get into town fucking Friday night, it's dark, whatever, it's evening time. All the other guys are like at a meet and greet or whatever, like a pre-comp, but their own thing. All of them are pulling whatever, having a good time, drinking whatever. I'm at the hotel, and I've actually been sober for like 4 days, 5 days up to this point. For me, alcohol doesn't run me, but it does. So it's a paradox. I'm sure you've heard this before, but I do have control over it for now. I just enjoy it, and that's why I keep doing it. But like I've stated before in a personal conversation and stuff, I know eventually, logically, I need to get off of it so I can really kick into high gear and what have you. But it just I went in sober, like I went in sober for my first tournament, which I was like a month sober, and then I went right back to it shortly beforehand because my buddy passed away, an arm wrestling brother, young kid, very promising. He was the number one left-handed 198 puller. His name was Blake Moore, and never thought I would be living that Fast and Furious song,
Right.
And even in real life, we weren't really. He wasn't like the type of friend I could call up, like if I had a flat tire or whatever. But if I wanted to arm wrestle, he was always there. He had the fire. But anyways, there was another point that I also wanted to point out here on your ARS Arms rankings and stuff. You're ranked number 73 in the 220 Open. And two notable names that are ahead of you rank-wise that you may want to hit up for a future match is Georgia's own Josh Elaton, who this past July beat Paul Passmore on both arms. And also Corey Miller's another name. Just a FYI there.
Yes, sir. Well, after I
Josh Elaton right now, far as I've seen, he's on the rise right now, because after that tournament, especially beating a nationally ranked guy like Paul Passmore left-handed, that was huge. And then also the hitman, Josh Bishop, Justin Bishop's brother, that was huge as well. But what were you saying?
Dustin is actually trying to get a match with me and Jordan Sill also for the number 4 spot.
You got me there.
He's ranked number 3rd.
Yeah, you got me there.
Or 4th. Sorry, 4th. Jordan Sill is ranked number 4 nationally, and I'm ranked number 6, and Ryan is number 5.
Ryan Carter.
No,
right?
Ryan Bull. Bellinger.
Oh.
Ryan Carter. Ryan is like number 18th or something like that nationally.
What source are you getting that from, ranking wise? Is it Arm Fighter?
No, In the Hook.
Ah, In the Hook. You want actual national rankings? You go to armfighter.com. In the Hook, it's I don't know. Maybe I should just shut my mouth and do more homework on it. But I'm pretty sure I'm right for the most part that armfighter.com, that's the actual national rankings right there. Now, I have heard stories from like Cody Wood or whatever on favoritism and this, that, and a third with guys like Kevin Palco, you know. But like the armfighter.com is where it's at, and Ryan Bull Bellinger is actually in that one. He's number 1 in his weight class, which I believe, if I can remember correctly, I looked at this shit the other day too. I believe it's in the 210 right hand. It's either the 210 or the 190 something, probably 210, but he's number 1.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'm
that match is 100% going to happen between me and Ryan.
Y'all just ain't got a promoter for it yet, right?
Well, it's not. No, we have a promoter for it. Flashpin has already reached out to both of us, and we've talked about it. Like I said, it was just back to Ryan had already made a commitment for the East First West. So
Gotcha.
once that is over with, we'll see where he's at and what he wants to do.
Ruh-roh. Y'all banged here recently. Y'all banged here not too long ago, right?
Yeah, in Arizona for the 220 round robin.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, I got him second round. I'm pretty sure it was second round, and like I said, I mentally was not there, and it cost me. I gave him everything in the setup, and he told me that. He's like, dude, he said, you gave me everything in the setup. He said, I had to fight for nothing. I didn't have to earn nothing. He goes, you gave me everything I wanted in the setup. So, you learn.
As far as I've seen with him, he's a hooker.
He's a hooker.
And you're a top roller. But you're not a low hander. You're more of like a high posting top roller.
Yeah, I have a lot of side pressure. Side pressure is my game.
Yeah.
So, more of a Todd Hudgens style top roll. If I go into the hook, I'm good. I'm good in the hook. I just don't go there. I'm not going to go there.
Gotcha.
If you take me there, we're going to battle. I'm not. It's me and what is his name? Bo Olson. If we had a war at the 220 round robin, and he took me into a hook, and I ended up beating him at his own game. So.
Oh, so you do have somewhat of an inside game.
Oh yeah. I train. Trust me. This
in practice. So you train inside and outside.
There ain't no bullshit around me. I train everything.
That's good. That's good. Because that's how I train.
And I don't train for any specific person. If I have a match coming up, say me and Ryan have this match scheduled, I'm not training for him. I'm training for me. He's going to beat me at my game before I change anything. So until somebody beats me at my game, I don't train for anybody. I train for me.
It would be nasty though if you beat him in a hook.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Go there. If he can get me there again, we'll see what happens.
You got to be careful though. Them Carolina Killers do not play. You got Adam Wierzinski, fucking Hunter Knobs. That's his whole crew right there, baby. Those are some top dogs right there.
I get it. But there's a
And the thing is
top dog here too.
I'm connected with. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say I'm the top dog here too. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
you know, I look at
Yep.
this and you know, I suck in or I absorb all the everything that I've learned from pulling guys like him, Sharkovich, you know, all those the high ranking guys. You know, I'm right there. You know, there's when it comes to like people like Andre, you know, my day's coming, and he knows it. I pulled him at Arizona. Pulled him in Arizona, and then I pulled him somewhere else right after that. And, you know, he's like, you're totally different than you were last time. And I made him work more and more. Each time I pulled him, I've made him work more and struggle more.
California and then the 220 round robin?
Was it California I pulled him?
Or was it?
No, it was Florida.
Okay.
It was in Florida. I pulled
And then
Andre
in Arizona.
in Florida, and then I pulled him in Arizona like 2 months after that. And it was a total different match. You know,
Gotcha.
I train. I find my weaknesses and I train my weaknesses to where you're not going to beat me that same way that you beat me the last time. It's just not going to happen. You may beat me, but you're not going to beat me the same way you beat me last time.
Yeah. Or meet them at their own game and beat them at that. That's where it's like, ooh, yeah, baby, burn.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. So how's the healing going there with the hernia, Tasha?
It's good. That's why I
I
had
know.
to earlier because I had like the pressure in my stomach, but it's good. I ended up having to have both sides repaired. But
Gotcha. Was that an inside hernia or was that one that protrudes out?
it protruded out.
Okay. Because, like, I found out through my brother, man, he had the nasty one where it doesn't protrude out and it happens on the inside. I was like, shit, I didn't know that was possible. Because all I knew about hernias is they protrude out and then you're like shoving the shit back in or whatever, like Babe Ruth. Yeah.
Yeah, this one wasn't going back in. They had 3 doctors try, and they're like, no, it's going to have to be surgically repaired. And they were blown away at how big it was and this and that. And, you know, it just finally had surgery and ended up having to do both sides. And it's been almost 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Cool. Yep.
Thursday, Friday will be 2.
Friday will be 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. It'll be 3 weeks.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, Michael, bro, I think I may have eked this out before we even started the show, but I'm jealous, man. You got a golden woman right here. And that was another thing that I liked with you two and why I wanted y'all on my show is because, like, I come from a nuclear family. And these days now, I don't know if you know, obviously you don't, Michael, but, you know, her maybe more, but, you know, ladies and gentlemen, these days now, nuclear families and the family setting is a special thing these days because it's damn near non-existent for real, you know. And y'all have a fucking beautiful thing, and I wish I had it, but my plan is different, obviously. So, you know. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll find my Adrian, and it's like I'm a big Rocky fan. If you ain't caught that already, you know. Earlier today, I'm watching David Goggins shit, you know, and inspirational stuff, you know. And that's a dude right there, because like, you know, I'm the type of person where I love inspiration, but inspiration ain't where it's at. It's where it's discipline, going against your emotions and stuff. I mean, inspiration is emotionally driven and stuff. And it's not necessarily bad or invalid, but more so if you ain't got discipline, you ain't going to do shit, man.
No.
You're just going to keep watching motivational shit, and you're going to be you're going to be in a circle, basically. You know, a hamster running a wheel.
Absolutely.
And so.
If it wasn't for her, I promise I would not be where I am today.
Yeah, and brother, you know, you are who you are, and I know you got really emotional on there. If anybody starts picking on you because you were crying during that shit, hit me up, bro. I will put a hit list out on that motherfucker because, like, they don't understand. You know, they don't understand. Yeah,
and that's just it. Is, you know, a lot of people see me as a bad person. A lot of people see me as, I mean, guys at work will just completely 100% avoid me at all costs because I walk around with I'm pissed off all the time. And the reason why I wanted my story out was because that's not who I am. I'm very serious.
yeah.
He has a resting bitch face.
Okay. Well, I have a resting bitch face.
Wow. Holy shit. I got to do this.
Shots fired.
She'll pay for that later. No.
Yeah, we're going to have a talk later, wife. Oh, my bad, bro.
I don't want people to see me as being that angry person that I am on the table, or that I look at, or I carry myself as. I take life very serious because tomorrow is never promised, and we all know that. And a lot of people live for tomorrow, and I'm not the person that's going to live for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes.
That's what Rocky was doing in Rocky 3. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Get your head off your shoulders.
You know,
that was Apollo Creed talking to him in the ring.
Absolutely. And that's why I train the way I do, and I make sure my kids are training, and they have a way of life as not to go down a path that I went down, but to see that if you can use the gym or a sport or anything to keep you away from drugs or alcohol, drama, whatever the case may be, that's what I want to instill in my kids and instill in other people, that no matter how bad life is or how bad life is, there's always an option out. You know,
my definition of what a good parent is basically a parent who wants better for their kids than what they had, etc. You know.
Absolutely.
You know, I would start drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes earlier.
Oh, yeah, I remember the story.
And
I remember the story.
That was not a good example for my kids. It was not a good example for my wife. It was not a good example for me personally. You know, and now that I have found sobriety in the way that I have, I feel like I have a bigger heart. My heart's always been there. I will give the shirt off my back before I take anything from anybody else. Like, that's just the way I am.
Quick question. I got to know this. Do you know what your zodiac sign is? I'm very curious.
I don't.
I think it's Aries.
Aries, yeah.
I think, is that what it is?
Aries?
Yeah. April.
Is that what it is?
Beginning of April.
Beginning of April.
Yeah. She's looking it up right now.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would really like to know.
I'm almost 100%
like
sure. Aries.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's Aries.
Wow. Okay. So you got that fire sign basically, and it burns out like if you got beef with somebody, it can blow over somewhat quickly though. In general, not always.
Never.
But,
never.
Yeah. Aries is the oldest sign, if I remember correctly. of all the zodiacs, and they're cardinal or what have you. But yeah,
Ram, right?
yep, the ram. Yep, I am the goat. I am a Capricorn.
Okay.
I'm the greatest of all time. Oh shit. Nah, but okay. That's really cool to find out. Very interesting too, because like I have my youngest sister is an Aries, and she's a beast. And I think we'll stop right there because there was something I found out here recently with her and her husband. But anyways, I want to thank y'all for coming on for real. I know there wasn't really no general direction, but I'm telling you, bro, you got a hell of a resume, especially being the top one in the 242 Open. And it wouldn't surprise me if I see you eventually sometime here in the future, near or somewhat far, on Knuckles Up or what have you. Because, like, you know, AriusArms.com, what Corey Miller, the Flash, and them started, in my opinion, was an excellent thing to use, because then you could keep track on who's the top pullers and this, that, and a third. And it's basically you're just building your resume. And
Right.
whenever I found out about it months ago, I was like, I love this, because now this is where the pressure's on the athlete to perform. Because if you got, like, you know, if you're in the top 20 or whatever, I mean, I'm gonna be going to every producer or what have you, be like, hey, what the hell? Oh, here's my resume, you know, like a job, you know. And I'm telling you, you know,
Well,
they're
like I
gonna
said,
have to, you know.
my biggest struggle is you know, work for me is just crazy because I work in the oil field. So work is not the easiest work to be done anyways. You know, so
Aren't you a business? Aren't you owner of that business though?
I
Or
no, I own my own business in Florida before I moved out here to Texas. So
oh,
we actually moved to Texas to be with my stepson, and his parent, his biological father and stepmom are actually moving back to Florida, but we're staying right here in Texas. This is my home. It's my home away from home, but this is my escape of my past life. This was a fresh start for me. People say, you know, moving away is a bad idea. Moving away is this, moving away is that. But in all honesty, it has brought me to be a better person. You know, I don't have anybody to rely on out here. You know, I don't. My wife doesn't have anybody. We have each
pressure's
other.
on.
Well, it's just, we have each other.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, you can call whoever you want, and yeah, they may be there for you, but at the end of the day, they're not there for you every second of the day when you need them. My wife is always there, no matter what. My kids are always here for me, no matter what. So, you know, I look at this as, yeah, it sucked as, you know, moving away, but it also opened up a whole bigger picture for me, you know, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was still in Florida, I would not be sober. I would still not be sober. I'm going on what, 3 years now?
Going on 4.
Or going on, coming up on my fourth September or August 1st will be 4 years that I've been sober. If I was still in Florida, I would not be sober. There's no way I would not, just couldn't do it. There's too much bullshit. There's too much drama. There's too many backstabbing assholes. You know, there's just so much. I have a group of guys out here that I train with, Sean McVeigh and Tanner Bigelow. And Tanner was an addict, was an alcoholic, all of that. So me and him jive completely together. Sean is a more of a businessman. He works in the oil field also, but the refinery side of it. So he's got the more level-headed friend that I needed, I guess. And we jive together. There's, his family comes over, Tanner and his wife come over, we hang out, we cook out, we train, and it keeps me level. My circle's tight. My circle is small. And then I have two friends back home, Mike Stone and Dave. We call him Angry Dave. They're excellent people. And I miss those guys like crazy. Those were guys that I trained with at the gym back home. Moving to Texas has really made me a better person.
Cool beans, man.
So
cool beans.
But promotions, I just don't have time to reach out to people. I don't feel as if that's my job. If somebody wants me, they can reach out to me. If they feel I'm not gonna beg for anything. I'm not gonna be, somebody that sits there, oh man, let me on your podcast, or hey man, let me pull at your tournament, or let me pull at your event. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a show. What's the correct words I'm looking for?
Hungry.
Well, I'm very hungry, but I'm not going to beg.
Boaster.
I'm not going to beg to be on somebody's podcast or beg to be on Knuckles Up or anything like East First West. I'm not going to beg for that. If my talent's not, if you don't see the same that everybody else sees, well, that's on you as a person, not on me. Because I'm going to continue doing me. I'm going to continue being me. I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm not going to change for anything. What you see is what you get.
Gotcha. Question. Where did the nickname The Disturbed One come from?
Dave in Florida. Angry Dave. He's like, man, he goes, you just like the resting bitch face. He goes, you are definitely disturbed. And he said, you remind me a lot of myself. So that's why he gave me the nickname, and I just kind of stuck with it. And it's been my thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, my nickname was kind of funny. I went to Justin Bishop's home for a practice in the front yard. And this was back when I had the kind of like Jake the Snake handlebar mustache only. And I had retro shades on, right? And I guess to him, obviously, he said, your nickname's Earnhardt, not Earnhardt. Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt.
Okay.
Because of the way I looked. And I was like, okay. Then one night, I'm thinking of myself, I'm looking at Earnhardt, and it's, you take the T off, and then you split up Earnhardt. And that's how I came up with my own nickname for myself. And it suits me dimensionally wise very well, because for the most part, except for this one moment in my arm wrestling career, but in life in general, I've always had to earn everything I got. And just saying that, just the two words earn hard, it brings to mind like inspirational stuff, and stuff like that. It's like, nothing comes easy in life, unless you have, been gifted talent wise,
You're still earning
other than
money.
that, I'm definitely still earning.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my God.
I've been told several times that I would be nothing more than a local arm wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple times.
And I'm not going to lie, for the most part, especially being in this arm wrestling thing, I have really sold my ass off. And I'm really, I know I'm some Joe Schmo from nowhere, and I'm not really that strong either. So I'm at that grinding level. But, sometimes I'm thinking about it, and it's probably good that I didn't hit success very fast, say, like, figuratively speaking and offhandishly, like, Scarface, because I'm telling you, it's probably a good thing I didn't, because like I got so many haters and enemies and stuff, and boy, would I just oof.
Well,
That's my
like I
dark
said,
side coming out.
use all that as motivation on the table. That's what I do. Like all these people that talk shit about me,
Yeah,
like, and most of them are back in Florida. That's the thing is most of them are back in Florida, and everybody listens to everybody down there, and they build their own imagery off of everybody else's words instead of using their own two eyes to see what's going on. And I literally I use that as motivation just to prove them people wrong each and every day. Because I'm the one that's getting better while you're sitting here failing at life.
maybe me and you. Appreciate that comment there, Jay Coben, baby. That's a true fan right there, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that comment, Jay Coben. Maybe, and this is just a thought, nothing 100, as I always say. I should probably copyright that shit. But anyways, maybe me and you should go down to a certain event and tag team against the Florida team. Because, like, I got some haters down there.
I'm going to be honest with you. There is nothing in Florida that'll make me go back to Florida to arm wrestle. I have been fucked over so many times by those group of people down there. They're not getting a piece of me.
Gotcha.
It just ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen.
I retract my offer.
When you go back and you look at video footage of I got a pin on Chance Shaw and they didn't call it. Left-handed.
Ooh.
They didn't call it.
Yeah, now they do have some really loose-ass rules. I do know that from my experience.
East versus West. Dude's elbow was off the back of the pad. Qualifier. Dude was off the pad this far. Not once, but twice. They seen the video footage and still gave him the win.
Wow.
So all those guys down there, they can all kiss my ass. Point blank.
Amen. I join in on that.
They can all kiss my ass. They're not going to use me as getting any kind of beneficial to them whatsoever. Absolutely.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Fired. Yeah, because, like, I don't know if you know, or you probably wouldn't care. I mean, it's a pretty sticky story, but supposedly I'm a racist. Because the one thing I did, I was drunk, but I don't blame it on the alcohol, because, like, I have an ex-fiance. I've been with multiple black women and stuff, but I said one word, and I'm telling you, I became seriously famous overnight. Because, like, characters like, I ain't gonna lie, anybody watching this, I don't like talking about this, but I'm just sharing with them because they probably don't even know because I'm nobody from nowhere. But boy, the ripple effect of that, like, seriously caused me, because 98% arm wrestling knew ahead of time, because I was on good terms with them, right? That the November last year, I was going to Orlando to James Reed's event, right? Well, when I committed this transgression, goddamn, even Cobra Rhodes got in on this bullshit. I don't even know this guy personally at all or whatever, you know? But I was seriously banned from competing there when I had plans on competing there in Orlando, Florida.
I had no idea.
Oh, I wish he was. Appreciate that comment, Jay Coven. Ryan Grind is probably not. That's a dead man walking right there. Promise you that. I'm talking about some serious bad blood, brother. Like, that motherfucker's tried getting me fired from my own job.
Wow.
It's like calling into my job, you know, just because he knew I worked with black people, you know. Yeah. That's people for you. Going back to what you said, instead of just, you know, not seeing with their eyes and actually knowing what they're talking about, people are so quick to judge. It's like a newspaper lining sensational type thing. Like, you don't know shit about it, but for the most part, you got these mindless drones in our population on Earth who will follow that shit and say, oh, yeah, he's a racist, even though you don't even know that person, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about them, but you'll follow it like it's the fucking Bible, you know? For real. You'd be surprised. But anyways, we're definitely over my quota again for the second episode in a row, but that's all good. I'm so privileged and thankful for you two coming on, you know, and connecting with y'all and y'all, you know, being on my podcast and whatever. Total treat.
Appreciate it. Thank you very
And,
much for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, I didn't keep y'all too much past whatever y'all should have been doing during this time period or what have you. You know, I know how families work. Y'all are constantly busy, got kids to tend to, dinner. And, you know, I know you just came from work and you basically got in the shower and came on. So I really appreciate you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll be you know, big brother, me, or figuratively speaking, whatever. I'll be keeping a loose eye on you, you know, competing wise and everything.
Well, I'll be this weekend. I'll be in San Antonio for the end of the year bash. It's a big mega practice. Just gonna have a good time. Maybe do a little bit of teaching. You know, just have a end of the year bash, I guess is what Billy's doing. You know, it's a good time. A lot of guys are going to be there, so I look forward to it. I haven't been on the table pulling since California, which was what, a month ago, November 2nd. Actually, I was in California.
Gotcha. Now, typically, before you compete in a Supermaster tournament, what do you take? 2 weeks, 1 week off?
No time.
Oh, you are a beast.
I
Careful, man.
I train
Careful,
3
because
hours a day.
you might injure.
I train
Go
3
ahead.
hours a day for a reason.
You must have really good testosterone levels.
Well, what I do for work too it helps out a lot with my arm wrestling. You know, I'm a diesel mechanic, so I'm steadily lifting heavy shit. You know, look up wrenching, look up a 3512 Caterpillar engine or MTU 4000 series engine, and that's what I work on. So it's not a.
I wonder because, like, I know you mentioned in that Flash Pin Productions episode, you had a UCL injury on the right arm.
Yes, sir. I
right?
tore my UCL my junior year of high school pitching.
Yeah, you think that may have, along with from that and thereon in your story of your life, may have contributed to why you're so strong right-handed?
I think a lot of it has to do with the mechanical background.
And then and then the baseball career as well. In high school.
Baseball in general is going to build your tendons. I do a lot of band work, which is tendon strength. I continued that even after high school. I went on and played men's baseball locally. I tried to get my way back up, and it didn't happen. So I kind of gave that up and started playing adult softball, men's adult softball, traveled all over playing softball. And then that kind of just faded away as well. Alcohol had a big part of that. It kept me down from being at the top level, honestly. So once I gave the alcohol up, life just kind of started going uphill with everything. My arm wrestling career took off. I'm back playing softball, once or twice a week, just to stay competitive, as far as being, a man in society. I'm not going to sit on the couch and watch the news or scroll Facebook for 4 hours. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to train. Last night I had a softball game. I played at 8, 9, and 10 o'clock at night, and I trained 45 minutes before I went and played softball.
I really wish I lived in fucking Texas, man. This shit. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Mac Ruiz is a great mind in the sport, and I love going to his place, but it's like just over 2 hours away, and then I got my buddy who's like 35 minutes away, and it's just me and him for the most part. But damn, I would like to be with like some spirit-wise, like your spirit, your energy. I could seriously fucking feed off of, because like the last time I felt something like that, and I was getting my ass whooped in practice and stuff, was Blake. Like he was the one. Like, and it, ever since that, it's just, it's kind of been like a little hump I've had to kind of get over. Not terribly too much, but, significant enough to where, like, I cannot listen to certain few songs, without, getting emotional and thinking about them,
Right.
Like that was my guy, arm wrestling wise, nothing else. But anyways, I know I was trying to start this earlier, but I'm sure y'all got something to do. It's going on 2 hours now. Want to thank y'all again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And also, just for the people watching, if y'all want to be contacted, you or your wife at Black, because she's a nutritionist, ladies and gentlemen, she knows her shit a little bit. Where can these people follow y'all on social media and stuff? You and your wife.
I have an Instagram. It's Michael, the third one, Bedwell. And I think it's _. There's an underscore in there somewhere. And then hers is Black Label Nutrition, or our personal account is Michael Bedwell and Tasha Bedwell. We post on both everything, Facebook, Instagram. She does a little bit on TikTok. We just started a YouTube channel for me and 2 guys that arm wrestle. 3 guys, sorry. the house. You know, we have our own little training thing. We're getting together. We're going to be posting some videos on YouTube, and it's called Toxic Arms Arm Wrestling. So there's going to be a lot more content coming out, and you know, I really look forward to getting more, being able to help more and more people throughout my journey with arm wrestling. It's not just with arm wrestling. It's in everyday life, because I ain't had, you know, like you said, everything that you've had to earn, and that's the way I am too. You know, I've had to earn it all. Nothing's ever been given to me. So at the end of the day, I want to help people that want to help themselves.
100%.
And people that are down or whatever, you know, look me up, write me on Facebook, write me on Instagram, whatever. We can have conversations. We can, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm down for whatever.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. So
y'all have a good one. I
You
shall
do.
release y'all.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Good night.
Good night. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I sure as hell did, man. What an episode. There's one more point I wanted to hit here, and I got it, or actually, hold on. There's two things I want to do here before I end this episode, because I promised, all right, December 7th, my opponent and soon to be opponent at some later time, there's nothing set in stone. I promised, I told him I would do this, and I'm a man of my word, to promote his event December 7th over there in Texas for Andrew Clinton Pickering, whichever way it is. The Punisher. Here you go, right here, buddy. These are super matches right here, all on the card. And Clinton Pickering is the main event for $1,000 against Austin Jennings. I'll definitely be keeping my eye out on this one. See how Clinton does when there's some money on the line, because he was 3-2 this past November 2nd for real. He almost got Austin. But my second point here, all right, big news right here. My Georgia native brother here, Cody Wood, the Goku guy with the long, very long blonde hair. He's on Instagram, TikTok, all that, versus Matthias Schleit. He's German. He's known as the Hellboy because his right arm is abnormally way larger than his left. And these guys, Cody Wood, rising superstar and returning legend Hellboy. Cody Wood, the rising star. Can he beat, ladies and gentlemen, can he beat Hellboy right-handed? Now, Cody Wood is nationally ranked, and he's a strong 154 guy, 165 guy for real. A lot of experience I have with Sir Cody Wood. Now, I seen yesterday there was a past bout between Hellboy right-handed in a hook too, with Kevin Palco. Well, Kevin Palco is, according to Cody Wood, he's old news because Cody Wood could flash him right-handed easily. So I gotta put my money on my guy just because of knowing that. Because now it can be argued in certain ways because like how long ago was that clip with Kevin Palco and Hellboy, right? So I don't know. It begs the question, but I know Cody Wood's been on point. So we'll see, and I'll keep my eye out. That is January 25th on Knuckles Up. Oh, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, December 7th also, Great American Bash. And that's a big one right there. Appreciate you there, Lorraine Jenkins. Love what you're doing promotional wise, man, because that's a big event right there. But for right now, we're going to end this shit ASAP because I'm at exactly 2 hours. Want to thank my fans, true fans and subscribers, all 119 of you, all over the world, near and far. And my haters. Keep hating. Earn hard is out, bitches. Peace.